wanted to do. But it looks like really they were just here to cause trouble, or maybe to get information and feed it back to ISKCON or something like that. Who knows? They're not talking to us, so we don't really know. We'll probably never really know. But when this kind of behavior manifests, it brings up all of our feelings about ISKCON and that whole association and like that. You see, up until that point, we were ready to accept their association, even though we knew that they had some ISKCON connection. You know, I'm always inclined to give the benefit of the doubt, especially when I see someone acting enthusiastic and like that. But then when they start these kind of duplicitous games, then no, we can't tolerate that. Even though we might like to help people, there are certain people that we can't afford to help. So I hope if you hear anything about this, or if these devotees contact you or try to disturb you, that you'll get in touch with me. Because that's the thing that they didn't do. See, they didn't get in touch with me and straighten out whatever issue it was. And so that led to serious problems. Communication is the thing that heals problems. And if there's a problem and you don't communicate, that says to me that you don't want to really solve the problem. So we don't need people like that around. We have enough to do to deal with the people who are sincere and who are actually surrendered. We have more than enough to do just to help those people. And so if there's other people coming around that aren't so sincere, it just wastes everyone's time. So, now we'll continue with the Nectar of Devotion. I think we're on chapter 30, yes. Further features of ecstatic love for Kṛṣṇa. Remember back in chapter 28, I think it was, there was a list of 33 vyābhicārī-bhāvas. Oh, by the way, we made a slight mistake the other day. This is the fourth out of the 5 different kinds of bhavas that go to make up rasa. In the beginning of the second wave, let's see, all the way back here in chapter 20, these 5 are discussed. Vibhava, special symptoms or causes of ecstasy. And remember, we talked about vibhava in the form of Krishna's 64 transcendental qualities and the qualities of the devotees. Then anubhava. Anubhava are the subsequent results of these causes of devotional service. So when a devotee is seen to chant, dance, get all excited, do lots of devotional service very enthusiastically, hear about the scriptures and so on, surrender to the spiritual master and like that, we can understand these enthusiastic activities are the result of being attracted. So anubhava means subsequent symptoms of ecstasy. And then sattvika bhava, existential ecstasy. Existential ecstasy means ecstatic symptoms, like tears in the eyes, quivering of the body, faltering of the voice, and so on. Finally, or not finally, but then next there's vyābhicārī-bhāvas, and the vyābhicārī-bhāvas are what we're studying now. So far we've studied, I don't know, up to maybe the first 11 or 12 of them, up through madness. Let's see. Yeah, that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now we're going to continue with confusion. Great. There is the following statement in the Hamsadutta. One day when Srimati Radharani was feeling much affliction because of her separation from Kṛṣṇa, she went to the bank of the Jamuna with some of her friends. There Radharani saw a cottage wherein she and Kṛṣṇa had experienced many loving pleasures, and by remembering those incidents she immediately became overcome with dizziness. This dizziness was very prominently visible. This is an instance of confusion caused by separation. Similarly, there is a statement describing confusion caused by fearfulness. These symptoms were exhibited by Arjuna when he saw Krishna's universal form on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. His confusion was so strong that his bow and arrows fell from his hand, and he could not perceive anything clearly. So confusion can be caused by being overwhelmed in general. Our mind and senses are very limited and fragile. And of course Krishna is unlimited and he's very strong. So when Krishna manifests his universal form, Arjuna just can't deal with it. So he requests Krishna, oh please don't show this universal form anymore, show your four-armed form or your two-armed form. These forms are very dear. Why? Because they're human scale forms. And in these forms, Krishna relates to his devotees in the regulative section of devotional service and the spontaneous section of devotional service, respectively. Death. Once the Bakasura demon assumed the shape of a very big duck and opened his mouth in order to swallow Kṛṣṇa and all the cowherd boys. When Kṛṣṇa was entering into the demon's mouth, Balaram and the other cowherd boys almost fainted and appeared as though they had no life. Even if devotees are illusioned by some ghastly scene or by any accidental occurrence, they never forget Kṛṣṇa. Even in the greatest danger, they can remember Kṛṣṇa. This is the benefit of Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Even at the time of death, when all the functions of the body become dislocated, the devotee can remember Kṛṣṇa in his innermost consciousness, and this saves him from falling down into material existence. In this way, Kṛṣṇa consciousness immediately takes one from the material platform to the spiritual world. In this connection, there is a statement about persons who died at Mathura. These persons had a slight breathing exhilaration. Their eyes were wide open, the colors of their bodies were changed, and they began to utter the holy name of Kṛṣṇa. In this condition, they gave up their material bodies. These symptoms are prior manifestations of death. I think he means slight breathing exhalation. Okay. As we talked often about how this book was a very early product of Srila Prabhupada and his editors, and at that time the editors especially were not very learned or conversant with our philosophy, and there are many mistakes as a result. But it's still a very valuable book. Laziness. When, because of self-satisfaction or dislike of excessive labor, a person does not perform his duty in spite of having the energy, he is called lazy. This laziness also is manifested in ecstatic love of Kṛṣṇa. For example, when some Brahmanas were requested by Nanda Maharaj to circumambulate Govardhan Hill, they told him that they were more interested in offering benedictions than in circumambulating Govardhan. This is an instance of laziness caused by self-satisfaction. Once when Kṛṣṇa, along with his cowherd boyfriends, was having a mock battle, Subala showed symptoms of fatigue. Kṛṣṇa immediately told his other friends, "Subala is feeling too fatigued from mock fighting with me, so please do not disturb him anymore by inviting him to fight." This is an instance of laziness caused by dislike of excessive labor. inertness. In the 10th canto, 21st chapter, verse 13 of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, there is an appreciation by the gopis of the inertia of the cows in Vrindavan. The gopis saw that the cows were hearing the sweet songs vibrated by Krishna's flute and were appearing to be drinking the nectar of these transcendental sounds. The calves were stunned, and they forgot to drink the milk from the milk bags of the cows. Their eyes seemed to be embracing Krishna, and there were tears in their eyes. This is an instance of inertia resulting from hearing the transcendental vibration of Krishna's flute. When Laksmi became disturbed upon hearing words against Krishna, she remained inert and did not move her eyelids. This is another example of inertia caused by hearing. In the 10th canto, 71st chapter, verse